They don't call it the Monster Mile for nothing. Greeting fans outside the gates of Dover Motor Speedway is Miles the Monster, the towering statue clutching a race car in its hand. But the real monster is the racetrack itself. Exactly 1 mile in length, Dover's high-banked concrete oval is one of the toughest tracks in the NASCAR Cup Series schedule. The corners are banked at 24 degrees, while even the straightaways carry 9, keeping drivers loaded up lap after lap. And along with Bristol Motor Speedway, Dover is one of only 2 tracks on the Cup schedule paved entirely in concrete, giving the surface its bright white appearance and a reputation for speed, tire wear, and unforgiving walls. Opened in 1969, Dover was originally paved with asphalt before a complete rebuild in 1995 replaced the surface with concrete, creating the modern Monster Mile drivers battle today. Over the years, the track has been a proving ground for champions. Early winners include legends like Richard Petty, David Pearson, Bobby Allison, and Cal Yarbrough. But in the modern era, one driver has ruled the Monster Mile above all others. Jimmy Johnson holds the record with 11 NASCAR Cup Series victories at Dover, a mark that may never be matched. Concrete, speed, and absolutely no margin for error. Tonight, it's the PSRA Open ARCA Series Monster Mile 150, and it's next on Track Limits Network. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the virtual Dover Motor Speedway. I'm Steve Singer, joined in the broadcast booth by Zach Millett for tonight's event. Zach, what's going on?
Hey, Steve. How we doing, man?
We're doing good. Getting ready to get this one underway. This one could be touch and go. We've had some really good races over the last handful of weeks here in the PSRA Open ARCA Series, but Dover, well, you heard it in the open. It's a monster. Let's get to the race details for tonight. 150 laps the distance, 70% fuel on board. 4 tire sets available over the wall. No fast repairs. You might need them here tonight. 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if necessary. Weather-wise, we're looking 70 degrees, 24% humidity, cloudy skies, and a 6-mile-per-hour breeze. Track temperature about 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, Zach, this will be an interesting one here tonight. Practice just about wrapped up. We'll take a quick look here at the fast times. Drew Blaze, the fastest. Not surprising. We've seen him be successful here in the past. Only driver below 22 seconds with a 21.97. And then you see it further on down there the line. I know you don't have a ton of experience in these ARCA cars here, Zach, but what's a great way, just about in any stock car, to get around this place and take care of it over the long haul?
Well, with most cars, you really got to worry about the right front on this place. If you just back up your corners, you can find yourself saving a ton of tire here, which obviously will benefit the longer run. These cars being kind of down on power compared to most, Cup cars, even the Xfinity cars, I think that's what we're going to see tonight. I think that right front preservation is just going to be everything tonight.
Looking forward to it. Brian Rose, good to see him back behind the wheel again tonight in the Track Bar Media number 89, Track Bar Motorsports Ford Mustang.
Man, it's like seeing a ghost out there. Who is that guy, Steve?
Some rookie.
God.
Field of 24 cars, it looks as we're just about set for qualifying. 30 seconds to go in the session before the black and red flags drop on practice. Drivers getting their last couple of laps in, maybe some last-minute adjustments. This is an open setup series, so adjustments can be made prior to qualifying, even throughout the race if necessary. Well, Zach, do we want to make picks before qualifying, or are we going to wait that one out?
Actually, I kind of like it. That way we're not just picking, the front row. I've got my pick. If you got yours.
Go for it.
I've raced this guy a million times here in various different cars. I can't bet against Drew Blaze at Dover. He has been on my tail a bunch of times. I mean, he just comes out of nowhere. We know he can save tire with the best of them, and I think he's going to be there tonight.
Okay, Drew Blaze, the pick for Zach Millett, once again stealing it out from underneath me. It's the thanks I get for letting you go first. I'm going to go with the 58 of Corey Bigley. Why? Well, Because I feel like it. I don't have any reasons, any data, any history. I'm just going to go with the 58 tonight.
Because he's fast, that's why.
Well, there's that. Will Jones out on the Speedway.
Steve, how about an iRacing Credit $5 side bet?
iRacing Credit, $5 side bet.
Yeah.
Are we picking to win, or are we picking whoever finishes above the other guy?
Picking to speed on pit road tonight, because it's a hell of an entry. I've got my pick. Ryan Rose.
Oh, you took it again.
You know, I'm in your head, man. That's why I stalled. I knew you were looking at his name. I just knew it.
I was looking right at it. Mike Fahey goes P1. I'm going to go Mike Fahey to speed on pit road tonight. There's the side bet.
I like it.
Will Jones goes third quick, 22:51. Fahey still fastest. Let's see what lap 2 yields for the number 19 machine.
That was a shame for Will there. Looks like he hit the wall off 4 on a second lap. Looked pretty quick, too.
Fahey improves, 22:21, but Bobby Hamilton Jr. goes to the point on his final lap of qualifying with a 12.
I think we're going to see that tonight, Steve. I think that second lap is going to be kind of where it's at.
Ken Couch now on the Speedway. So how is this going to work? If they both speed on pit road, is it wash?
I think if they both, it'd be kind of a unicorn situation. I'd say it wash. Yeah,
Okay.
we both win. But then I guess if not, it just carries over to the next week.
Couch may be abandoning his qualifying efforts here. Steve Luttrell now 7th quick on his first lap, 22:43. And I think I'll probably just PayPal you if I lose. It's easier than trying to screw around with the iRacing credits.
I like it.
Mike Fahey goes, shut your mouth, Steve. Well, now he's going to be extra conservative going into the pits as Luttrell puts a 38 on the board. A little bit of an improvement here, 9th quick.
See, that was part of it. I knew Brian Rose doesn't have the stream on in the background. There's no way.
No, got to focus. Will Hewitt, 3rd quick, 22:20. As David Bradford goes to the point, 22:068. Still nobody below 22 seconds. We saw it in practice. Will we see it here in this qualifying session? Likely going to be the second lap. We'll see if Corey Bigley will do it. Certainly be enough to put him on pole if he does. Doesn't need a whole lot. Less than a 10th to get past David Bradford, but Bigley way up the racetrack. Really setting himself up for some straightaway speed. 22:43, 12th quick on lap 1. We'll see if Bigley can adjust. He's got some cloud cover, Zach.
That's perfect timing. Looks like he's rolling the bottom pretty good. Let's see how clean the exit is as he launches up off the corner.
Look clean. P4, 22:13, rounded to a 14. Corey Bigley puts it top 5. .22:47, 13th quick for Chris Klein. First lap invalidated. A lot of drivers not making an effort here. Matt Nicholson, Truxell, Justin Johnson, Terry Wilson, Jeremiah Holt, Frank Griffith, Alan DeFries, Steve Whitmore, all opting to sit qualifying out. Ken Couch went out there but never locked in an official lap.
It's not a bad plan, really. I mean, you really don't want to be in the middle of the pack at Dover. If anything happens, it's pretty hard to get it back down and stay away from trouble.
About 10 seconds left in the session. We're not going to see any more official laps before we get into our gridding session, I guess you could say. Gridding operation, pre-race, formation laps, whatever you want to call them. Zach, do we run 2 laps of yellow before we go green here? Or is this place just big enough to still only run 1?
Man, I'm pretty sure we only do 1, but it's been a while.
Well, it's time. Let's get a look here at our starting grid. On the pole position with a lap time of 22.068 seconds, the number 13 Bradford Aero Works machine of David Bradford. Outside pole, Zach's pick tonight, missed it by 40 thousandths. It's Drew Blaze. Runner number 2 will be Bobby Hamilton Jr. and Corey Bigley. Look at our picks in the outside lane.
Nice.
Row 3, Will Hewitt and Mike Fahey. Row number 4 belongs to Brian Rose. Good qualifying effort for the 89 and Josh Ingram. Row 5, Colt Ansley and Keenan Kimber. The 11th starter is the number 36 of Steve Luttrell. 12th belongs to last year's champion A.J. Rogers. Chris Klein from Outcast Motorsports will start 13th. Bradford Airworks driver Will Jones, don't let that 14th place position deceive you. He's got a quick race car underneath him. Dominic Bettini will start 15th. Jeremiah Holt will start 16th. Justin Johnson rolls off from the 17th spot. Steve Whitmore, 18th. Ken Couch will roll 19th. 20th belongs to Mark Truxell. 21st starter is Frank Griffith with Alan DeFries to his right elbow in 22nd. Last row in the field, Matt Nicholson and Terry Wilson lining up by way of I-rating. A lot of these drivers here at the tail end of the field not taking a time in the qualifying session. It's your starting grid here for the Monster Mile 150. About to get things underway as the field already out on the Speedway. Their formation lap. Our drone taking the heads off our crowd right now, but that's okay.
Good thing they signed the waiver.
Pure Pixel Visual says, I call David Bradford destroying the pit wall barriers and Colt Ansley is going to run out of fuel. That's a name I haven't seen there before, Zach, but that's pretty funny.
If both of those things happen, I'm down to send him to $5. Just saying.
Race details again, 150 laps, 70% fuel on board, 4 tire sets over the wall, 0 fast repairs, 0 zip, zillage, 3 attempts at a green-white checkered finish if necessary. Pace car heads to pit lane. We're ready to get this one underway.
Green flag.
There it is, green flag in the air. Barney waving it. We're racing from Dover, Delaware. Bobby Jr. quickly up into the second spot. A great start for the 25, and he's all over the back bumper. David Bradford going for the race lead.
Boy, not wasting any time here. He throws it into turn 3.
Bobby off turn number 4, back to start finish, will cross the stripe. He'll take the top spot and lead lap number 1. Bradford back to second. Will Hewitt, Bigley, and Drew Blaze the top 5. And it's Cameron Hageman in this stream chat. Used to run with these guys like 5 years and 3 kids ago. Cameron, were you the one broadcasting? Was that the old staggered broadcasting? I believe that was. Cameron, check in, let us know if that's the case. That sounds familiar. Field spills out in the backstretch, what little of it there is, but Bobby Jr. got this one in hand for now. We'll see if David Bradford can get settled in and run the 25 back down. Off turn 4, going to start lap 4 as the field splashes through the start-finish line. Indeed, that is the Cameron from Staggered Broadcasting. Thanks for checking in, man. It's been a long time. Battle for third, Bigley and Will Hewitt. Hewitt settles in behind, thought about crossing over, but not enough momentum to make the charge to the bottom. Bigley maintains the 3rd spot.
Field is starting to kind of single out here, maybe to log some laps and maybe get the tire pressures up here.
Drew Blaze, though, he's in a battle with Mike Fahey, it seems. Fahey was actually a little crossed up there on corner exit. And Colt Ansley having a moment there, slips up the racetrack. He'll lose a position or 2, but Will Jones now to the back bumper of the 86. He's going to have his hands full. Jones up 3 spots from the drop of the green flag.
You see that a lot here at Dover. Everybody drives this place differently, so a lot of people will check up a lot earlier than others, so it's hard to keep off other cars going into these corners.
On board with Josh Ingram. Josh running down to the 14th position. Josh has shed some positions since the start of this one. 8 laps, and he's lost almost as many spots. And Terry Wilson with an incident on the track. Already some damage on the 3 machine. Let's go back and take a look at it.
That looks like left front damage here. Let's see what happened. Oh, this might be pit road entry, maybe?
Already some damage on it. Does he spin on entry?
He's just going to miss it.
No, he just misses it and has to slow down, and it triggers the somebody crashed notification.
Well, good thing caution didn't come out.
Man, these guys are getting around this place.
Yeah, they're flying. Corey Bigley's, I think he's ready for P2 here. He's kind of putting the pressure on old Bradford.
Let's ride on board with Corey and see what he sees as he tries to hunt the second spot, take it away from the crown apple number 13 to David Bradford.
See what that little bit of rear grief does. Get up behind somebody like that, it really takes the air off, makes that car in front real loose. Push right up the track.
Bobby just in cruise control. We've seen this a lot this season, though. Bobby will get out to an early lead. He'll have that quick short run setup locked in. Later on in the run, sometimes he'll start to come back to the rest of the field. We'll see if he's got some of those setup demons worked out. Of all people out there, he's got real-world experience behind the wheels of these types of race cars. Should be able to manage that. See if he's got it handled here at Dover. You got a battle for position.
Kind of a perfect scenario right here, Steve, because you got Bobby, who's really fast on short runs, and then you got Bradford, who's really fast on long runs, but I feel like Corey's like right in the middle there.
Yeah, Corey's got a pretty good balance with, and honestly, with a lot of the leagues in iRacing, that's about what you want. That's the perfect mix, because some leagues will run long green flag runs. You'll get a bunch of green flag pit stops, and other leagues are going to be the opposite. They're kind of a wreck fest. Sometimes you get the average league, and then all of a sudden now you've got that average run driver like Corey Bigley. It can really pay dividends. Checking on Brian Rose here back in P7. That's where he started, just logging laps, just getting back into things here in the PSRA Open ARCA Series. Brian certainly a SCAR veteran from days gone by, going back to the Cameron Hageman days as well. Alan DeFries, Will Jones, Will Hewitt, Bradford, Bobby, of course, Mark Truxell, all those guys from those SCAR days. But Brian's taken some time off from racing for quite a while, actually, focusing on the track bar media stuff, not really doing any kind of racing. Finally got back into it, running legend cars, basically kind of starting from scratch, going with the basics, trying to relearn everything, and here he is now running this ARCA car, having a solid run inside the top 10.
Yeah, it was quite the break. He was off the service for a long time. It's cool to see the old track bar media and motorsports car back out here. I'm glad he got in here.
Meanwhile, out front, Bobby Jr. continues to lead, but who's hunting the front? That's the 58 of Corey Bigley. Less than a car length now off the back bumper. Off two, and he pounds the outside wall on exit.
That's real tough. That might be some real damage here. Let's see how he comes back after that. Yeah, you can kind of see that car pushing already, I'm afraid. You see that a lot here, Steve. It's so hard to see your corner exit when you're up behind somebody. The back of these cars are just so tall when you're up behind somebody. Oh, yeah, there's more damage. That's going to be some wheel damage, I believe.
Unrelated, I want to give a shout out to Chris Goins. Chris Goins recently hospitalized with some health issues. I've spoken to him pretty recently. He's doing okay, but Just want to give our well wishes to Chris in case he's listening.
Feel better, buddy.
Meanwhile, some close quarters battle with Bigley and Bradford. They almost came to blows there. I think Bradford may have got the wall just a touch. I don't know if they traded paint or not, but nevertheless, Bigley loses the second spot, and it's allowed Will Hewitt to close the gap. And look who's there as well, Drew Blaze in P5.
I'm worried about that 58 car, Steve. I don't know. He looks awfully tight in the center all of a sudden.
Taking a
That
peek.
right front has something to do with it.
Visually looks okay. I don't even see a scrape, a scratch, a bruise, or nothing. Might just be settling back in after some pretty significant contact for Corey Bigley.
That might be a next gen under the skin of that ARCA or something. That thing's pretty tough.
Reinforced door bars.
Something.
Cameron Hageman in the chat again says, I was supposed to run tonight, but the twins are sick and I wasn't watching the time. You guys are awesome with these broadcasts. Cameron, thanks, man. Honestly, I got to thank him. I know we thank Bobby Hamilton Jr. and David Bradford for getting us going on this thing, but it would have never happened if Cameron hadn't walked away. I think Cameron ended up with a new job and wasn't able to do it anymore, so I kind of filled the spot even though I had no idea what I was doing. And, well, this is what it's become. Pretty much just been focusing on the top five here because that's where a lot of action has been. But Mike Fahey back there in P6, and he's got company in the form of Brian Rose. Brian slowly but surely shortening up the distance between himself and the JBL number 19.
Yeah, shout out to Fahey Raps, man. Those guys always show up with good-looking cars.
Yeah, Fahey race wraps. He always says he's retired and he doesn't paint anymore, but it seems like every week he's got a new scheme as Brian Rose will go to the bottom and take the 6th spot away. Rose has got a little bit of pace right now. Last lap at 23:67, Bobby Hamilton Jr. ran the exact same time out in front.
Yeah, they're all real close. I mean, the top 6 are real close on pace.
Back out front. Bobby Jr. up the racetrack. David Bradford putting on some pressure here. He wants the race lead. Can he take it away? Off turn 4. Bobby saves the car a little loose on exit, scrapes the right side on the fence just a touch, enough to break the momentum, but he's not quitting. I think Bobby's just changing up his line here, but kind of as we talked, as this run moves on, is it just Bradford getting faster or Bobby more of a short run car? We know David is excellent on the long run.
Well, it's one thing. If you're leading the race and if you got good pace, you usually don't change your lineup. So I think he's struggling with that car. I think he just put too much into it again, and he's just kind of swinging at it here. And Bradford takes the lead, and we'll see what the pace looks like here a little further. We're about 30 laps in already.
Bobby real loose, even up the top of the racetrack. Watch that thing step out on him. It's really sliding the right rear. Bigley gets the wall again. Big battle here. Bigley and Blaze side by side. Will Hewitt's going to try and follow the 88 on through. Bigley could lose a couple of spots here. Hewitt goes through.
And you can see how tight it gets off the exit of 4 there.
Chris Fahey jumping in the chat. Another familiar face or name for that matter in the chat. Says Mike made his car orange today so his mother can find him on the racetrack.
Beautiful.
We got Pew Pew America 88 says the beautiful voice of Zach Millett.
Well, it doesn't have anything on Danny's voice, but it'll do for tonight, I say.
Well, he's definitely you definitely got a face for radio, so there is that. David Bradford now continues to lead and putting distance about a half second, a little less back to Bobby Hamilton Jr. in the 2nd spot. Drew Blaze a little bit closer to the back bumper of the 25, but still back about 3/10.
Might have been a moment out there for Will Jones. I see him towing to the pits. Hopefully he didn't get into a wreck or anything.
I don't see anything. It just says maybe this was him trying to come to pit lane. We'll take a look.
Looks like he's down and off the racing surface pretty safe.
No
We'll
damage.
Just pull over and tow though here. Hopefully everything's okay with the 46.
Maybe just not happy with how the car is handling for him. Decides to take it to the garage. Meanwhile, Drew Blaze will take the second spot from Bobby Jr.
Now this is what I like to see here, Steve. We got two long run cars. It's going to be a battle between these two.
I gotta say, I'm really impressed at the cleanliness, knock on wood, of this race, even to this point. If we get a yellow now, I guess that's okay. It's only quarter distance. With no cautions, so to speak, at this point, 36 laps in, you think in a place like Dover, as difficult as it can be, we would have expected to see something by now, but it just hasn't happened.
I tell you, as a racer, I love it. I hope it stays green. It really rewards the guys taking care of their stuff.
Bigley and Hewitt to the wall, and there it is!
I had to jinx it. I had to jinx it.
Kind of walk me through a lap here, please.
Oh, Brian Rose just escapes disaster there on the bottom. Holy cow.
Well, there you have it. I had to say it. Broadcaster's curse. A lap later.
Unbelievable.
Jesus.
Well, it's one of those things, you know. We can almost kind of see it coming because we know how tight Corey Bigley was on the exit of 4 especially. So when Will was up there, it was just running out of room quick.
Well, I mean, we hear from David Bradford all the time, and over the last 5-6 years of being affiliated with iRacing and talking to David Bradford, you know what he's going to say. Well,
Yep.
you can always lift.
And he's not wrong.
Nope. Bigley might be okay here. He's got damage to repair, certainly, but at least it's rolling. It's up on all fours still. He's got work to do, but time to do it.
Be interested to see if that wheel is straight. I mean, it's pretty good fender damage. I know he's hit it a bunch.
Oh, boy.
That doesn't look too straight to me. I know these things are yawed a little bit, but it's pretty rough. And I think it's early enough he could come down and he could really get most of it fixed.
Might want to check the toe, eh?
Eh?
Imagine everybody's going to come down and pit here. David Bradford will lead them down. Cole Ansley stays out. He made his pit stop at lap 31. So he's good to go there. He was trying to pull some strategy. We've seen him do that in years past at different racetracks, though. Certainly Watkins Glen, places like Pocono, especially back when they ran stages. He would always short pit the stage, try to gain track position that way, and it's worked out for him in the past. But he gambled a little bit, hoping there'd be a caution, just kind of playing the numbers that we haven't had one yet. We're due, and sure enough, they got one. But Ansley's going to lose a lap in that strategy. We'll see if he gets it back this way. Really, at this place, Zach, you probably lose 2 laps under green, don't you?
Yeah, it's pretty darn close, and it's really hard to get him back in a place like this. I mean, short pitting at these places in like Bristol, it's really an aggressive strategy. It's kind of scary.
Bradford's already clutching the car, too.
Big picture racing.
Yeah, he's done some math before this one.
Looks like Drew checked up and Bobby almost clocked him there.
So the race recap to this point, 39 laps in, now 40. David Bradford's your leader. We've had 1 caution for 3 laps and only 2 lead changes.
Going forward, I will not say the C word.
Caution?
Yes.
Oh.
Great.
Lights atop the pace car are out, so next time by we'll be back green flag racing. Front row is going to be David Bradford and Drew Blaze. Bradford will take the inside lane.
Now, we had that decent run to start this thing off. I mean, a little over 30 laps, so it'd be interesting to see if some of these guys made the adjustment, maybe back their pace up a little bit. Or maybe they're just going to go for the track position, kind of like Hamilton did right off the bat. We'll see.
You know how it goes. Cautions breed caution. So we've got to get a handful of green in here before we really start counting on strategy and taking care of our stuff. Just keep everybody out of the wall here and facing the right direction for a while. We'll be just fine.
Fast enough to stay ahead of the chaos, right?
Pace car heads to pit lane. There it is. Green flag in the air. We're off and running again from Dover. Bobby right out of the gate, showing that early run pace all over again.
Going to do the same thing all over again.
Bobby unable to take the top spot from Bradford, but they're still just a few feet off the back bumper of the 13, and they've both checked out with Brian Rose running in the third position.
Yeah, almost 3/10 a lap slower to back to P3 there. These two cars are just taking off.
Cameron Hageman in the chat says race recrap should be sponsored by Arm & Hammer Kitty Litter.
Sponsorship opportunity. Just reach out, Track Bar Media.
Zach, get on that, will you?
Yep, write it down, write it down.
Bradford looks like he's going to let Bobby go here rather than burn up his stuff.
Yeah, I think he knows what's going to happen here in another 20 laps. I think the writing's in the wall. He's already kind of showing better pace than he did that first run there. So I think he knows he can put a little more in it.
Well, you also got to keep in mind that Bobby knows how to make adjustments mid-race. You got to pit stop, you work on the car a little bit, improve it. Bradford might have wanted to see what he had out of the gate and then kind of let him go, but you don't want to let him get too far out because maybe Bobby improves the car on the long run. Maybe he can stay out in front. He's looking real strong so far.
Yeah, if you're the 13 car, you want to stay close enough to keep the pressure on him, to make Bobby want to drive fast to stay in the lead.
Meanwhile, Corey Bigley on pit lane.
Man, that thing's looking worse for wear. Be a good idea on how many laps you go down here. He's just getting into the box. You're going to see the leaders coming off turn 4 there very shortly. There they are.
Brian Rose still hanging on to P3 ahead of Drew Blaze. About half a second over the 88. Again, Brian's probably just out here logging laps, trying to regain some experience, see what comes back. But man, so far, having a strong afternoon.
Oh yeah, after the break he had to come out here and just want to, as your goal, log laps and be, kind of get used to it again. He's running third, man. You can't ask for much better than that.
Quite the gaggle of cars here, a little bit further down outside the top 5, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th. Cole Ansley in 16th. He's the first car, one lap down. Love to see that yellow flag. He can get himself back on the lead lap. Mark Truxell having a good run. He's up 9 spots, started 20th. Justin Johnson and Chris Klein battling side by side. Justin Johnson from Lone Star Racing. So is Brandon Minnick. Minnick has run some races here in the PSRA Open ARCA Series, but Minnick unfortunately battling some rather serious health issues. And Justin's putting on a charity event through iRacing on the 19th of this month. It'll be a Thursday. It'll be a half-distance race at Daytona. I think they're running the next-gen cars. That'll be broadcast live here on Track Limits Network. Justin up from 17th, running in 12th. Truxell getting the pass done on Cole Ansley. Back out front, Bobby Jr. continues to log laps in the race lead. 6/10 plus back to David Bradford. You see the deficit there. Looks like Brian Rose actually running David down. So, Zach, I got to ask, with as long of an absence as Brian has had, is he pushing a little too hard right now, or is David just saving a little heavier than everybody else?
I would imagine Brian's kind of running the same pace right now, but I think David is probably just doing David things and just pacing himself and racing the big picture here.
Looking at lap times, Brian about 6/100ths of a second faster than second place David Bradford, but Bobby's running 23 flat the last time by.
Brian's looking smooth out there. The wheel looks real steady.
Not a lot of abrupt input. That's a good thing. Very different looking top five from the first 36 laps of this race. Those guys were bunched up, racing hard, but now you see it. Everybody's separated by 5 to 10 car lengths apiece from first back to fifth in Dominic Bettini. Not like this group. Oh, Luttrell in the wall. Holt takes evasive action. Avoids contact.
Just see how tough it is getting off turn 4 on the outside of another car.
Looks like Luttrell got a harder hit than he bargained for. He might be coming to pit lane.
You know, it's interesting, Steve, as hard as he hit that, the car on the outside exterior actually looks fine, but it could have been the same thing as Bigley's second hit there, where it still looked fine, but the wheel might have been messed up at that point.
Speaking of Bigley, Bigley shown back in 19th. 17 laps down. Meanwhile, Bobby continues to lead. 48 laps so far tonight as we're about 10 laps shy halfway. Eddie Rose in the chat. 89 looking good out there. Eddie, if you're still in the chat, throw out some NASCAR trivia. Little throwback. Zach, watching this, Bradford's closing in just a bit, just as kind of we expected. About 30, almost 30 laps into this run, and David's starting to run Bobby back down.
Yeah, that first run, it was about the 29th lap. He started noticeably running him down, and we're going to see, I think, the same thing when Bobby's going to move up, be kind of a defensive line here.
Seemed that when Bobby went up the racetrack to do that, though, that's when the rear end started to step out. A little bit loose on exit of 2 there, and David's right there. I don't think Bobby's going to put up too much of a fight here. He knows how it went those first 36 laps. David's got the car on the long run. Ooh, tried to pinch him a little. Oh, but he gets the fence. So David Bradford back to the top spot. Bobby Jr. back to second. Drew Blaze has gone around Brian Rose and taken over the 3rd position. Dominic Bettini is still running in P5, but Mike Fahey working his way back through. He's in 6th. Bradford still running about a half-tenth quicker a lap than Bobby Hamilton Jr., but the fastest car on the racetrack right now is the number 88 of Drew Blaze.
By a tenth and a half, too. I mean, he's cooking.
Do you foresee anybody out here in that final pit stop, depending on how late it is, gambling with 2 tires? I know we've seen Drew Blaze do that over the years, but what's that going to do to the handle on these race cars here at Dover?
It might feel really, really good right off the bat, but it's just a matter of time before it kind of falls off. But I don't know. I guess it would depend on how many laps that last run would be. I mean, if it was anywhere near 20, 25 laps, absolutely go for it.
Something to ponder as we approach another round of pit stops. Does anybody try that now to gain a bunch of track position, or do they kind of keep that one close to the vest for later on in the race? Either way, we're just past halfway here at the Monster Mile. We're going to step aside, get a track limit side-by-side break out of the way. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified and Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker, World of Outlaws late model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook. Back at Dover Motors Speedway, the Monster Mile 150, you saw it during the side-by-side. Jeremiah Holt having an issue coming to blows with Justin Johnson. We'll go back again here and take a quick peek at it. A little bit of contact, looks like with the exit of turn number 2. Justin had a run, but then realized he had somebody to the outside, checked up, but it still drifted up the racetrack. Just barely got into Jeremiah, but then that secondary hit sent the 73 around the 9 degrees of banking on the straightaways, and into that wall the 73 goes. Caution number 2. Just about the same time. The second run there, those guys taking the opportunity to pit under yellow.
I tell you, the end of that run looked awfully familiar, too, because we saw Drew Blaze in the side-by-side take P2, and it's the same exact order from the first caution.
Wow.
So now, Steve, we've had 2 shots to make some adjustments and finalize our feel of the car. It's going to be interesting.
Ready to see it unfold here as the field works off turn number 2. Pace car lights are out, formed up 2 by 2. Half a lap away from going green again.
Definitely a great comment in our stream chat there with Pure Pixel again. Bradford is looking good, and he must have strapped his booster seat in nice and tight today. He laughed so hard.
Pedal extensions.
Yeah. Little blocks of wood on his feet.
Pace car heads to pit lane.
Green.
Bradford leads him back to the line. Lap 87 up on the scoring tower. Bradford, though, he's got big-time company. Once again, on the short run, Bobby Jr. showing all kinds of pace. David's not going to play with him this time. He's just going to let him run.
It's definitely a feeling of deja vu here, Steve.
This is the third time we've seen this all night long. Every time the green flag comes out, Bobby rockets to the front.
Now, if and only if we get a green flag run to at least lap 120, we'll see if the tides turn here and if Bradford goes back around Hamilton. So that's about the right timing lap-wise.
Drew Blaze running P3, Brian Rose 4th, Mike Fahey up to 5th.
That's the difference I'm seeing right now, Steve. I see Drew Blaze putting a little bit more pace in it because he dropped back to 4th or 5th on that last 2 starts there. So maybe he just wants to hang with Bradford here, knowing he's got a good long run pace here too.
Mark Truxell working his way towards the front. From 20th, he runs 8th. Big wiggle for Alan DeFries, and around they go. Keenan Kimber up the racetrack. Dominic Bettini's collected. Chris Klein trying to get her woed up.
Man, nowhere to go for Bettini there. He's just in the wrong spot at the wrong time.
Caution number 3. We said it after the first. Cautions breed cautions. This time we get a full effect of it. Let's see what happened here. We saw it somewhat live. DeFries got crossed up. I believe it was off turn 4. Let's take a peek. Watch the 71, the white Freedom car to the top. He'll just touch the wall. Oh, no, it happened ahead of him. Okay, so that makes a little more sense. Looks like maybe Truxell checked up.
I think it's the inside car there. He's trying to stay on the bottom side of the 65 car there.
Oh, he lost it. Chased it up the track. Just narrowly avoided the 5. But it broke his momentum, then broke the 71s as he got on the binders.
Yeah, Allen had such a run there coming off that middle lane that it was pretty much impossible for him to woe it up that much. Ooh, I can't tell who that is, but boy, did they shoot the gap. Is that Ken? Ken Couch?
Ken Couch in that blue and white, and then AJ Rogers. I'm going to watch this from his perspective. Whee!
Gonna get a little front end damage there, I imagine, but should be okay. Well, it'll be interesting this restart now that the tires had a single heat cycle in them. We'll see if Bobby Hamilton has the same kind of pace right off the bat.
Yeah, this is something we haven't really gotten a chance to take a look at tonight, is once you get that cycle into those tires, does Bobby still have that fire-off pace? Obviously, they've had a chance to cool the tires down, but... Race recap. 94 laps in, Bobby Jr., your race leader. 3 cautions for 9 laps and 4 lead changes.
How many laps per tank again was it, Steve?
I just know it's a 70% load. I don't know how many laps that translated to. If anybody out in the stream chat's aware, I don't know if Cameron's still watching, and if he's aware, if he can let us know what that fuel window in laps is, that'd be much appreciated.
Green flag.
Green back in the air. Oh, late start for David Bradford. Bobby fires on the throttle and gets away.
Man, that 25 car did almost a wheelie when he got into it there. He was flying.
Drew Blaze will take advantage. He'll try and squeak away with the second spot as Bradford wiggles a little bit off turn number 2. Still not quite clear. Blaze goes to the bottom in 3. David going to power back around the outside with a run down into turn 1. He'll have the spot, but now Drew's going to try back on the bottom.
Ozempic machine looking awfully skinny out there. I think he's going to tuck in behind David here and just kind of save tires again.
Another gaggle of cars behind this battle. Mike Fahey just ahead of it. Justin Johnson, A.J. Rogers, Colt Ansley in the mix. Ansley wouldn't have surprised me if he stuck it in the middle and made it 3 wide at Dover, but no, he thought better of it. Backed off, lived to the next corner. Colt now to the bottom of the racetrack, looking for the 6th position and has it. Remember, Colt was a lap down not too long ago. Now he's just knocking on the door of the top 5 again.
Man, that was a great move by Colt, too. He came off the high side off, too, and shot to the bottom and made another pass. 2 for 1 special.
Brian Rose making some moves.
Starting to come back to him.
Just about 100 laps in, 2/3 distance here at Dover. Brian Rose starting to look a little racy, and Cole Ansley's in the wall.
No. Oh, that dreaded turn 4 exit.
No
Man.
caution either.
Oh, he just did all that work to get on the back on the lead lap and was flying. I mean, Colt was flying up through the field. And you hate to see this, man. That car is toast.
Mechanical black flag for the 86 as well. He'll park it there and just manually exit to the pit lane.
Class act, you know, to get off the surface there and prevent a caution. I hate to see that for him, man.
Tough way to finish out the race. About 50 laps early for Colt Ansley. He was a lap down, was knocking on the door of the top 5, and it all goes out the window. Bobby Hamilton Jr. enjoying the largest lead of the afternoon at almost a second now, a second and a half plus back to David Bradford. Bobby really driving it deep on entry. He gained a 10th and a half in those 2 corners alone.
I was going to say that last time by compared to Bradford, I mean, he was 3.5 tenths faster. I mean, he's really pushing here. And I mean, what do you think the strategy here is, Steve? You think he's just kind of hoping it stays green and get as much of a gap as he can possibly get?
Well, I mean, Bobby's been doing this a long time. Obviously, he knows how to make a setup. Obviously, the car is fast. But he also has been doing this league thing in iRacing for quite some time. And as closer you get to the checkered flag, the more likely you're going to see some yellow flags. So maybe if you can break up this final pit stop into a couple of short runs, he may be in the catbird seat here to pick up a win, even though he's got more of a short run car.
You know what it is, Steve? It just kind of came to me. I mean, I think everybody stayed out that last caution, so I think everybody has to stop regardless, and we're not going to make it even if they did come down. I think Bobby knows that he might as well push here because he's probably close to that window. So he's just going to push for everything this car's got, come down pit road, take his last set, and go. So there's really nothing to lose here for him.
We might actually be in a position where they could make it. When did they stop last? Was it lap 83? No, I don't think they can make it. They went 45 laps on that second run. Man, Bobby's just hustling that race car. Dirt tracking it off 4. But I think you're right. I mean, if they make it to that last pit stop, say it runs green to the end, makes the pit stop maybe a little bit sooner so he can utilize that short run car. He knows about how long he goes before it starts to fall off. Maybe that's when he kind of counts backward from the last lap of the race and decides, all right, if I pit now, I'll have a strong car all the way to the end.
It will be sweet if we do have one more green flag pit stop for everybody, because we might see that two-tire strategy come in.
Man, Bobby is just on rails right now. 22.91 the last lap, 23.08 by David Bradford.
Yeah, he's opened it up 2.5 seconds over Bradford here this run.
Mark Truxell, Justin Johnson side by side. This will be for the 7th position.
Johnson not ready to give that spot up.
Justin hangs on to it. Back out front, Bobby Jr. continues to lead with a 2.5 second advantage, but the lap times have equalized just a bit. Bobby and David, 0.03 of a second difference those last 2 laps. Now it's down to about the same this time, but David just a tick faster.
And it begins. But now he's got some work to do. I mean, 2.5 seconds on a racetrack, that's a long ways.
David Bradford with the fishing pole out front, trying to reel in that big fish, just one reel at a time.
Here, kitty, kitty.
Yeah.
That's what my good friend over on TikTok, Trailer Park Dude, would say in a situation like this.
Didn't Tony Stewart say that once in a race? I vaguely
Yes, he
remember
did.
that.
God, and I don't know where it was.
Oh, man, he's loose.
Hung right out.
Bobby Hamilton Jr. just wheeling that H&H Unlimited Chevrolet SS. Tell you though, Zach, lap after lap, David's reeling him in.
Yeah, that last one was a pretty good sign of things to come. It was quite a bit faster there. And as cool as that yellow car looks coming off exit all yawed out like that, it's definitely not making any time doing that, so. Does look cool though.
And he's in a 4-wheel drift off turn 4 almost every lap. David taking a big chunk out of it that lap.
Tommy Janikowski in the chat. How you doing, man?
Tom Janikowski follows us almost everywhere we're broadcasting, whether he's in the race or in the chat. Tommy, thanks for checking in, man. We certainly appreciate it. Going back to the Colt Ansley incident. Got a report from Colt behind the scenes that contact initiated from the 19 of Mike Fahey. Asking the race officials to take a look at it.
It's a terrible spot, man. It's tough off the exit of turn 4. And a lot of those cars, they get loose coming off 4, so it kind of gives you a little wiggle. And boy, if you're tight on another car, doesn't take much for that car to tap your nose to that inside wall. I've only seen one car save a spin off turn 4 at Dover, and I believe it was Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, I watched Jimmy do it, and I think Earnhardt did the same thing years ago. I think it was concrete. It wasn't concrete when Earnhardt did it, but Bradford's gained about a half second in the last 2 laps. We'll see what he picks up this time by. Another 2/10.
And with 30 laps to go, if these guys can run the distance here, I think it's just a matter of time before he gets there. But like you said earlier, Steve, getting there is one thing, passing's another.
So David's running down the leader, but he's still got to keep an eye on Drew Blaze.
This is a good spot for Drew here. He's not too far back this time. He can just kind of fall in behind Bradford here and just kind of go with him.
He's going to have a front row seat to the battle for the lead here in just a little bit. Bradford's cut down a second and maybe about 4/10 in the last 15 laps or so. Guys all have at least 2 sets of tires sitting over the wall still too, so that's not going to be a concern.
Tell you though, I'm liking what I see out of Drew here. He's very straight off the exit, very straight. I mean, he's not sliding that car at all. Look how low his entry is. Doesn't wash up the track very much at all. Watch how straight he is here. Straight up the track. No slide, no yacht. I mean, it's a very smooth lap.
About a whole car width lower on entry than David Bradford. But yeah, very smooth on exit too.
And that'll save that right front. The more you slide up the track, the more you're kind of, scraping tire off. That rubber's disappearing off that right front. And I mean, look how close they are to Bobby here. They are flying right now, these guys.
About a half second the deficit back to Bradford from Bobby Hamilton Jr. It's just a matter of time at this point before David is there. Last lap for Bradford at 23:36, almost 3/10 faster than the race leader.
And cue the Jaws music.
And there we go. Bobby doesn't give him any kind of trouble, just lets him have it. He knows how quickly he got caught, and he's well aware of the pace of that car later on in the run. So Bobby's just going to try and salvage it. Solid finish, maybe cross his fingers for a caution. And that's where this would really fall into his lap, Zach. If he get the yellow at this point, right now would probably be the perfect time for the yellow to come out for the 25, because he'd bolt on a set of tires and he'd have just that same pace that he had early on, where he fires off and just walks everybody.
Yeah, I mean, all night we've seen that 25 car. I mean, nobody can match his short run pace. The only thing that makes you wonder is if these two guys, Bradford and Blaze, are just laying back on purpose. Maybe they have that same pace, but we won't know unless we get that caution.
9 cars still on the lead lap here at Dover Motor Speedway. It's David Bradford, Drew Blaze, Bobby Hamilton Jr., the top 3. Ironically, that's just how they lined up to start this race. Brian Rose, who started in 7th, runs 4th. Mike Fahey is 5th. Justin Johnson up into P6. A.J. Rogers runs 7th. Dominic Bettini and Ken Couch 8th and 9th. Chris Klein in 10th, the first car, 1 lap down.
Got to mention it was a class act by Bobby Hamilton there to go up the track in turn 3 for both these guys. Not just let one by and not the other, but to let them both go. Like you said, he saw the pace of these guys, so that was a good move by him.
Bobby's obviously got pace just about everywhere we go, but he's really been calculating the last handful of races here. If he doesn't have it, he knows it. Lets those guys go when they get there. I've said it before, you just take the finish the car's willing to give you, especially in these open setup races.
That's one thing that will always prevail over raw speed is racecraft.
And Bobby Jr. on pit lane.
Yes, okay, this might be the answer here.
This is what we were talking about earlier. If these guys cannot make it to the end on a tank of fuel, you think Bobby was going to wait until, if you count those laps backwards from the finish, until he could put on a new set of tires and go out there and run 10 tenths all the way to the finish. This could be the winning move.
We got to see 2 here. Okay, he's on the gas already, revving it. He's going to be...
2-tire stop.
I think we're going to see that start to finish here. These guys are paying attention. You know, teammates are talking as they do these laps. They're all going to keep track of each other.
So Bobby Hamilton Jr., final pit stop of the afternoon. Right sides only and enough Sunoco race fuel to make it to the finish. So Bobby comes back out in the 9th position, albeit 2 laps down. But if these guys all need to make it, and they do, Drew Blaze on pit lane. So here we go.
They can't waste any time here because, I mean, every lap, it's a huge pace difference from where they were on old tires to new. So they got to hurry up, and Bobby's going to bring everybody down here.
Fastest lap of the race for David Bradford at 22:47. His last lap at 23:61. So that's how much tire fall off there is at the end of these runs. So Bobby coming down, even though he only took 2, it drew Drew Blaze down into pit. And there's others coming with him now. Mike Fahey, David Bradford now on pit lane, Brian Rose, Justin Johnson. Leaders all on pit lane. So Bobby's going to get his lap back here, and you watch him have an advantage when he comes back around.
I'll tell you one thing, if I'm Bradford, I want to get pit road as quick as possible here. We know that Hamilton is very, very fast on the short run. There's only 17 laps left, 16 now, so he's got to hurry.
The only deficit Bobby's going to have here is the right sides only. I don't know if it's something he practiced. Obviously, he wanted some of that track position, but will that be enough of a lead with this few laps remaining for Bobby to hang on to it and pick up the checkered flag, or will these guys run him back down? Bradford's going to go with 4.
No, he's waiting on fuel. Something's wrong here. I think he took
Black
too
flag,
much fuel.
too fast on entry. Too fast on entry for David Bradford. A late penalty taking it away from the 13. We won't get to see if he could track down Bobby Hamilton Jr., but we may be able to watch if Drew Blaze can.
Drew Blaze looks like it was a clean pit stop. He took 2 as well, didn't he?
Drew Blaze, 9.45 seconds. Yes, 2 tires and fuel for Drew Blaze. 11:45 to stop for Bobby Hamilton Jr., loading up a little bit more fuel.
Yeah, it's a clutch pit stop and pit entry and exit for Drew Blaze right when it mattered.
2 cars still on the lead lap. That's it. A.J. Rogers, last year's champion, and Dominic Bettini in second. Drew Blaze, though, in third. Even though he's a lap down, he's ahead of Bobby Hamilton Jr. if they get back on the lead lap here. Chris Klein is mixed up there, but he'll need to make a pit stop as well. Bobby Jr. now gets clear of Klein, so now it's Blaze and Hamilton, 3rd and 4th. That will become the battle for 1st to 2nd.
Something interesting here, Steve. I mean, I know in the past Dover races, I've saved more than 12 laps on a run. So I'm just saying, I mean, these guys, maybe they were hanging out in the back of the field, shutting it off every corner, planning for this.
Bettini pit about 10 laps later than A.J. Rogers. Rogers was lap 83. I think that was the same lap that Hamilton, and there he goes. Rogers is going to come to pit lane right now, so he definitely needs to come in. But Bettini, you're right, Zach, there's a chance.
There's a chance here that he was seeing the writing on the wall pretty early here. I mean, might have to ride along here and see if he's really clutching or doing any work here.
Just listening to the car right now, he's not hard in the throttle. It's 47 laps into his stint. We saw Drew Blaze go 50. We saw Rogers go 56.
Interesting. We're coming around to 10 to go here. This could be close.
He's clutching it.
Now, Drew Blaze is back on the lead lap at this time. He's just over 21 seconds back, so he's got time on his side here. Bettini, if he can make it, this might be the call of the race here, man.
Can Bettini pick up the win here at Dover with less than 9 miles to go? Does he have enough Tiger in the tank to make it to the finish?
What a story this would be. This would be a great win for Bettini.
It's like a hybrid going into the corner.
He's got so much time back to Drew here. He could check up way more. Way more. And be just fine. 7 to go to standby.
Bettini on lap 50 again. The furthest we saw, I think, was A.J. Rogers went 56 laps. Can he go 2 laps further and pick up the win?
This can be done. This can definitely be done. If he was planning for this, he's probably good to go here. He's doing a really high arc here.
Bobby Jr. in the background. Bobby Stolen lap down, though shown in the 3rd position.
Yeah, we'll see Bobby kind of fly by Dominic here. I think he wants to get his lap back the hard way just in case of a caution. He doesn't want that lucky dog and be stuck at the tail end of the field.
Five to go.
Being smart here, staying to the inside, letting the faster cars go the long way around. He takes the shortcut.
In this position for Bettini, I would almost take the low groove every single lap, just to make those laps shorter as you can. I know he was taking that high arc, but just keep it down low.
Yeah.
He's got a 15-second gap back to Blaze. Bettini's last lap, 24:07. Blaze was at 22:87. There's not enough time. Even if Bettini runs the same pace, he could back off another 2 seconds a lap if he had to.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he could, if he's even close, he could back off a ton of time here.
Coming to 2 to go. You know he's not going to pit.
No, he can't pit. Now you're crazy. Even if you got half a lap, you clutch it and you coast. You coast at this point. He's saving right now pretty hard, but he wants to get around this corner and see that white flag as quick as possible.
Off turn number 4, Dominic Bettini trying to stretch the fuel. 1 lap to go.
12 seconds back to Drew Blaze. He could coast a long ways here.
Still under power through 1 and 2.
He can coast here.
Yeah, he could run out right now. He'd be fine.
Heck yeah. Good strategy. Good call.
Off turn number 4, Dominic Bettini pulling a rabbit out of his hat. Picks up the win here at Dover Motor Speedway. Drew Blaze. About an 8-second, 9-second gap back to Bobby Jr. will come home in the 2nd spot. And Bobby Jr. will finish in the 3rd position. What a run.
I love it. I love it when races go green like that. You see the strategy. Worked out good for Bettini here. Got enough for burnout, too. Look at that, Steve. Well, just kidding.
No, fired it back up.
Hopefully he knows he can go right into victory lane here, too.
If he can get there.
Oh, she is out, it looks like.
Yep, that's all she wrote. With that, we're going to step aside, get our break out of the way. We'll be back with our top 3 finishers after this. Stay tuned. Spartan Transportation and Spartan Logistic Management is your one source for all your shipping needs. 53-foot dry van shipments, auto transport shipments, full-service in-house brokerage, drop-lot facilities, just-in-time deliveries to all auto manufacturers, facilities in St. Louis, Missouri, Kansas City, Missouri, and Indianapolis, Indiana. Spartan Logistics LLC, proud sponsor of the IROC Series, Kyle Steffens UMP Modified in Silver Crown Driver, and Gordy Gundaker World of Outlaws Late Model. Visit us at spartan-logistics.net or find us on Facebook.
Need insurance coverage that's built for speed? Frank Yea's office in South Charleston has your back. Whether you're blazing down the highway, protecting the home you've built, or setting up a legacy for your family, we've got the coverage you need. Auto, home, life, fast, simple, and made for you. Scan the QR code on your screen now to explore all our services and start a free quote today. Lock it in, save it for later, or call us at 304-744-7700 to get started.
Back at Dover Motor Speedway, and what a thriller here at the end. A fuel mileage race. Dominic Bettini started 15th and brings it home with the win on some crazy fuel strategy at the end. He was saving. Let's get a word with the race winner, bring him up into the broadcast booth. Dominic Bettini, it's Steve and Zach with Track Limits. You got us?
Yes, sir. Do you hear me?
Got you loud and clear. Dominic, congratulations, man. Pulling a rabbit out of the hat with some significant fuel savings at the end of this. You went 58 laps to take the checkered flag here. One of 3 cars on the lead lap. You skipped a whole pit stop, man. Was that the game plan out of the gate, or did you just kind of come to that realization near the end of this race?
Yeah, I kind of just formed that way. I thought I was done over that last caution. I don't know what happened, but I basically ran straight into my teammate Keenan there, and I had some damage, thought it was probably going to be the end of my run. Then I noticed my fuel is like 2.5 laps short, and I'm like, I think I can save this if I start from the beginning. So basically that whole run, I was just saving just a little bit every single lap, and I had just enough to make it through the line. I did a little slight burnout there at the end, and that's all I had left.
Well,
it's been a long time coming.
Certainly an impressive run. Is fuel saving something that you are accustomed to doing, something that you try to do on a regular basis? Because you seem to have it down pat.
Yeah, I guess so, because the last league race I won earlier last week in a different league, I won another one by fuel saving, so I guess it's just something I've become accustomed to. I never thought I'd win at Dover, man. I've never been good here. This has been one of my kryptonite tracks, and it feels good to get away with the win here. I think I've come close to a couple ProSim victories. I've had quite a few interviews with y'all, but it's good to finally get one officially on the books.
Picking up the W here tonight in Dover. Next week we go to the new Atlanta Motor Speedway, super speedway style racing on the short 1.5 mile quad oval. How do you prepare for that place? Is it just survival?
I think a lot of it has to do with confidence in your car. You're going to be making the moves. It's late in the race that you need to be making to win one of those. I do think survival is going to be about 95% of it, but I think the top 5 most skilled are going to come away with the win there, and I hope that we're going to make it 2 in a row there.
All right, Dominic. Well, a job well done here this afternoon. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
I'd like to thank my teammates, Keenan, Rodney, Aaron, like my buddy Jason, Derek. My girlfriend Kenzie, if she's watching, I wanted to win one for her. Finally got to do one while she was watching. My mom, if she's watching, and basically anyone else who came out here. And hope y'all enjoyed the race. I certainly did. And to each and every one, a good night.
All right, Dominic. Thanks for talking to us. Congratulations again. Good luck next week in Atlanta.
All right, thank y'all. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Dominic Bettini, your race winner here at Dover Motor Speedway. Next, we'll talk to the 88 of Drew Blaze. Thought he had this one in hand, but didn't count on the fuel strategy from Dominic Bettini. But we'll talk to the driver of the number 88, Drew Blaze at Steve and Zach with Track Limits. You there?
Yes, sir.
Drew, congratulations, man. Started P2, finished P2. You had an opportunity there. 2-tire stop along with Bobby Hamilton Jr. You still managed to jump over him in that cycle, but did not factor in Dominic Bettini's fuel save. Walk us through your race. Is there anything strategy-wise maybe you could have done differently? I know hindsight's 20/20.
The only thing I really could have done differently, I think I played it perfect, pretty much how I wanted to the entire race, except I was really on that last yellow. I know we had just gotten fresh tires, so I was like, I should probably stay out. But I was like, man, if I save good enough, I can make it from here. But I did not want to give up the track position and be caught behind everybody and risk getting my my stuff torn up. So, that's the only little thing that I could have done, and I was really, really thinking about it. But I felt like the car was perfect all night.
Zach made the observation during the race that your entry and exits at this place just very clean, very straight off, not sliding the car at all. Was that having something to do with that long run pace?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You get to slide the tires, and then even overdrive an entry, you can be sliding the rears, and then before you know it, your right side tires are offset so much that your car's breaking loose coming out of the corner, and it's just uncontrollable. So it's just a fine-tuned thing, and you really got to save to be able to go in the last 20 laps or so of a run, and really that's where it matters for me, at least.
Next week, Atlanta Motor Speedway, the new version, the Super Speedway version of it. Things are going to be a little different there, but that place starting to show a little need for some handling. How do you set the car up next week to perform well and maybe pick up another win next week?
Yeah, that's it's going to be tricky for sure. I'm looking forward to when that track gets a little more wear on it, and we can do some actual good racing. But for super speedways, man, we're just going to see how the car really handles in the draft, and aero wise, and just trying to optimize it the best we can. I've just been going to work on these setups every week, and it's just shown to be improving every week.
All right, Drew. Well, job well done here. Runner-up finish, and looked sharp and looked fast out there tonight. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
Yeah, just all my teammates over at Lone Star Racing. Just got the best guys around me. Couldn't ask for a better group. Thank you guys for putting on the broadcast, and shout out to everybody watching. And that's it.
All right, Drew, thanks for talking to us, man. Good luck next week.
Appreciate it.
Drew Blaze, runner-up here at Dover. Next, we'll talk to the driver of the H&H Unlimited number 25, Bobby Hamilton Jr., our third-place finisher here tonight. See if we can get a word with Bobby. Bobby, it's Steve and Zach at Track Limits. You got us?
Yeah, bud.
Bobby, congratulations, man. A very fast race car, especially on the short run. You just rocketed to the front right from the beginning of this race, and every restart didn't quite have the long run pace, but it seemed like you had the strategy there at the end. Walk us through this race. Was there any adjustments that could have been made to that car throughout the course of the race to kind of improve its long run speed?
Well, it was. I I had to choose. I had several different sets, but I needed one that was going to be, because the way all the practices were and all the tests, everybody was hitting fences and stuff, and I knew they'd calm down a little bit. But if you'd have told me that we were going to go at caution free, that last part, I'd have bet everything in my pocket, because I was like, there's no way. And that last run we had before the pit stops, I just aired it out, see what it would do. That way I could see if we get this green and then get another yellow and get the green and see what I needed to do and where I needed to adjust, and it was perfect. And I did burn my stuff up, but I knew I was just a short run car. I knew I was 25, 30 some odd laps. So I kept just building off of that, and I just missed it because I was thinking they was going to have a caution field thing, and I never would have thought that, and I never would have thought it came out in fuel mileage.
Now, Dominic Bettini certainly surprising a lot of us with that extra long fuel run of 58 laps there at the end to pick up the win. But either way, really impressive out of you tonight. A very fast race car. Can you carry some of that momentum into Atlanta next week? I know we're on the Super Speedway version.
Yeah, I think so. But this it's all about qualifying, staying out front. One of the teammates, Will, he just gets caught up in stuff, and I keep telling him, I'm like, man, I'll do one test completely of race stuff and another test of qualifying stuff, so we can just try to stay up front ahead of all that stuff. And that's the way it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of blocking, so there'll be a lot of turn-in people and stuff. And just be like tonight. You got to survive it, and you're not going to be able to get away from anybody. So you got to get the car driving good, because you're not going to be able to stretch it out like you could here tonight. You're not going to be able to do all that because they'll be able to drive right up to you. So you have to get the car, you can tug on the wheel and get it to where the spoiler's in there just enough to where when they're shoving you that you can hold on to it. So, that's a crapshoot. The momentum's good. The sets are good. We've been testing. We've been off for a while, but we've been testing shocks and stuff like that, and trying to get the travel stuff down. And everybody knows me. I'm going to go out. I'm going to go. These guys, like David's one of the best that we have, one of the best in our race as far as saving tires. They were all cutting up. They said, just let him go. Give him 15 laps, and he'll wear stuff out. And I was like, yep, but I'm going to do it out front where I look good. So, just a good group. And you just gotta survive. If you can survive that first big mayhem, you'll be okay, I think.
Well, it was a fun one to watch here tonight. We're certainly looking forward to Atlanta next week. Bobby, congratulations. Who do you want to thank before we let you go?
You guys, for one, do an incredible show. Get that comment weekly from everybody, and another great race. And I loved it. We had a totally different winner, a surprise winner. Nobody seen that coming. Nothing towards him, but we all thought it was going to be a caution fest, and it wasn't. Man, we wasn't prepared. Outsmarted us. Good job to him, and just all the competitors. Some of them have some really bad luck, but have to reach down, grab them, help them with some of their sets and stuff, get them out of the ditch like they did with me. So we just got a good group. Thank all those guys, and again, thank you guys and all the employees at H&H Unlimited, and they watch this stuff, have a good time with it.
All right, Bobby. Well, congratulations again, and thank you to all the work you put into this series and this league, and looking forward to more of it next week, man. Thanks for talking to us.
Thank you, bud.
Bobby Hamilton Jr., third place here at Dover Motor Speedway. That'll do it for the interview portion of tonight's broadcast. Let's take a look at our race results. Of course, we talked to Dominic Bettini, Drew Blaze, and Bobby Hamilton Jr. That was the top three. Old Mike Fahey brought it home in the fourth position. Brian Rose locking up a top five here tonight. And Mark Truxell in the second to last row comes home to P6. Chris Klein, a solid finish in seventh. A.J. Rogers drove it to an eighth place. Ken Couch was ninth. David Bradford with a late race, too fast on entry penalty, relegates him back to P10. Justin Johnson was 11th. 12th place went to Alan DeFries. Steve Luttrell was 13th. Frank Griffith comes home in 14th. Jeremiah Holt was 15th. Corey Bigley was 16th. Matt Nicholson 17th. Cole Ansley 18th. 19th place was Keenan Kimber. Will Hewitt 20th. 21st Josh Ingram. 22nd Will Jones. Steve Whitmore was 23rd. And Terry Wilson, last but not least, 144 laps down in the 24th position. It's your race results here from the Monster Mile 150. I got to tell you, Zach, we talked about it a lot during the broadcast in terms of Bobby Hamilton Jr. and what was kind of going through his head. We're not really mind readers, but man, we had it down pat. He was just going to drive the wheels off that thing, work the race backwards in that final run, and hope for a caution, which he fully expected to get. It just never came to fruition.
Yeah, we kind of nailed that, didn't we? But, like he said, those guys were expecting short runs. And, man, if they had nothing but short runs tonight, he would have been really hard to beat. So, I mean, those guys nailed the strategy that they were planning for, that's for sure.
Well, that's going to do it for us here at Track Limits Network. Congratulations again to Dominic Bettini picking up the win here at Dover, the Monster Mile 150. Tune in next week, same time, same channel here at Track Limits Network. Atlanta Motor Speedway, Super Speedway style. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good night.